While you're figuring out the fingers and the thumb, I'm drawing extra bricks on the side of the wall. And I'm drawing window panes and clouds and details.
Hey everybody, you may or may not know, as a collector, a couple months back, Todd McFarlane announced the new DC McFarlane Toys DC Direct Page Punchers line. That's supposed to be around $10, $9.99 is supposed to be the price point, featuring Rebirth Superman, Hush Batman, Flashpoint Flash, and Endless Winter Black Adam. That comes with a comic book, as well as an action figure. As I mentioned, it comes with a comic book. I'm guessing it's going to be reprints.
And the comic book that comes with that one, for instance, is the Jim Lee, Jeff Loeb, Batman Hush 20th anniversary book.
If you remember some of the figures years ago that were released with comics in them, they would always have the not for resale somewhere in the corner or written across it and have a lot of the ads removed and things like that. Not to be gross, but those are, you know, always good to keep in your bathroom as reading material. I don't know if those things are actually worth anything, but they're definitely good for reading, for flipping through, and that's a good thing for kids to have access to as well. That's the thing I always say about the old comics my brother and I had. Some that would probably be worth a lot of money these days. Unfortunately, we don't have anymore. We no longer have, but we have had the next best thing. We read them until they fell apart, basically. We absorbed those stories until the pages were falling out of the were falling out of the comic. So we might not have them to cash in for big bucks, but we got to read them a lot and we loved them. So that's good too. You can add them to your to your bathroom library if you can manage to put down your smartphone. I see one of the releases says something about 5 points of articulation, but when Todd was showing the figures, he showed they bend at the waist also. So do they really mean 6, or have they taken that waist swivel out of the final product? I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because I was guessing for head swivel, shoulders and hips, you know, arms and legs, arm and leg movement, the head. But then, like I said, Todd showed off that waist swivel, and now on one of the later releases, it talks about 5 points of articulation. So like I said, did they remove that bit? Was that a production issue? Makes me wonder. So all of that seemed really cool. The only thing that had me worried, had me concerned, was the size. And now it's been announced that they're a 3-inch action figure, and I don't know how I feel about that. That's been my problem with McFarlane products for many years, is that a lot of times they're just in sort of their own scale, and that's probably why I haven't purchased more McFarlane items over the years, and I haven't really bought a lot of the McFarlane Toys DC comics that have been coming out in the last year or so, is because they're kind of out of scale with, you know, I prefer things that are in scale with my DC Universe Classics and my Marvel Legends, and I usually prefer things that are in scale with, when it comes to 1/18 stuff, I'm usually more in favor of things that are in scale with, you know, somewhere in that 3.75 to 4-inch scale. Although I have been known to buy outside of that scale on occasion. I wonder if the Spin Master license is why they're making them in a different scale. I don't know. That's one of those, I guess, legal questions that I don't have the answers to. They look kind of cool, so I might, you know, this might be another line where I purchase my favorites. I might buy the first line just to check it out, and then subsequent lines, I'm guessing I'll probably only buy the characters that I really, really like, or something like that. I'll probably end up collecting a full, like, Justice League set, and, you know, if there's a Dr. Fate, or the Demon, or an OMAC, or other characters that I'm fond of, I'm guessing I'll probably buy at least, you know, those characters, a single character from the subsequent lines. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. When I first saw the announcement, I was wondering what size they were going to be, because does Todd just have small hands? Because the figures look bigger than that. Maybe that's just a pre-production model that hasn't been scaled down yet, and it had me wondering what scale they were going to be in. I knew they were going to be smaller, but at first I was worried they were going to be, you know, too big compared to the other figures, and now I'm thinking they're going to be too small. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Again, this is another line that reminds me quite a bit of the Mego Pocket Superheroes, Pocket Heroes from back in the day.
It's the Batmobile, complete with Batman and Robin. And the Batcave, sold separately, assembly required. Inside, Batcave is loaded with equipment. And here, it's Spider Car, complete with Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk. You can pretend they're heading for Spider-Man Alley. Sold separately, assembly required.
Stop yelling, you can drive.
Batmobile and Spider Car come complete with action figures, each car sold separately by Mego.
I do wonder how they'll scale with those Walgreens figures that I did a couple videos about a while back. I'd also like to see how they scale with Marvel's current retro line, although I believe those are in true 3.75-inch scale. So my answer on how those would match up is probably pretty well spelled out for me right there. Another item I'd love to see how they match up with, but I can't seem to get my hands on any of them, even though I've been trying for a very long time, is the McFarlane Toys retro DC line that never quite made it here. Those figures seem to be more available in more eastern countries, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, places like that. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to, barring actually calling them. They haven't responded to my emails or anything else like that, or direct messages. And I'm loath to call them because I don't like talking on the phone. But barring anything other than a direct phone call, I haven't been able to get into contact with them. I do have some sellers and stores that say they'll keep an eye out for them if more become available. And I'm guessing the McFarlane Toys deal maybe excludes them from distributing those here in America. It's hard to say. But I'd love to get my hands on some. If anybody knows how. I've been trying for like 2 years now, a year and a half, 2 years. So anyway. So not only would I like to see how they scale with some of these other figures, but I'd also just like to have them for my own personal collection because they look pretty neat. There is also a 7-inch page puncher line that is scheduled to be released. They're more in line with the current McFarlane Toys DC Comics 7-inch action figures, and they look really good.
Hey everyone, Todd McFarlane here. Let's talk about another new product coming out from DC Direct. Another one under the category of page punchers. This is a 7-inch figure, and the combo here is you get the figure and you get an exclusive comic book. That means there's a comic book in there based on Superman that you can't get anyplace else.
These figures should become available at the beginning of August, at the beginning of next month, although I'm guessing you will probably be able to find them in certain places at the end of this current month. In July, probably, if you look around. They have been available for pre-order for a while now. There is a deal on McFarlaneToys.com in their shop section that is a few dollars cheaper. However, the cheapest shipping and handling is about 16 bucks. So it doesn't really feel like you're taking advantage of a special deal. It kind of feels like the deal is taking advantage of you.
You can always find a party. In Russia, party always finds you.
Because I'm guessing, even if you pay a higher price somewhere else, the shipping kind of wipes out any savings on the figures that you're making. So I just check my local retail shops and hope for the best. That might be your best bet and best value. But yeah, available for pre-order as I'm recording this. So I am looking forward to seeing, what they look like, how they scale with other figures. But yeah, I will be looking forward to them arriving on shelves, and I will be looking forward to seeing what they do with the line. It could be interesting. Who knows? Maybe my concerns are unwarranted, and maybe they'll become my new favorite line. Or maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for listening, for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you want to. No pressure. I would appreciate it if you did. And until next time, I will see you.
Did you pay for that haircut?
Unfortunately, I did, yeah.
That's brutal, buddy.
Sorry about that.
That's brutal.